Hello everyone. Good morning. Welcome to our installation of Global Professional Free Webinar. Thank you all for joining and stay with us till the end. My lovely audience, today I am your host for the morning. My name is Yarni Sakhtar and I am from Bangladesh. Dear audience, I am proud to be associated with IGP as a global member. I feel honored and privileged to host this webinar. It's my delight to welcome you all our Institution of Global Professional Free Webinars. Thank you all for joining and stay with us till the end. It's my humble request to you and pleasure all of you to stay with us till the end and don't forget to tag, share and mention your friends. Institution of Global Professionals serves student and community resource, providing holistic social work and education for creative component generation. IGP is a leading on online skill development institute with thousands of learners worldwide. Institution of Global Professional is an educational institution provides social work with globally recognized. We organized our we organized our webinar training offline online courses is by based and trained speaker coaches from all the world. Our mission is to empower people. We already completed 1046 webinars successfully. Let me remind you again, don't forget to tag, share, and mention your friends in our comment box. Now we'll start our webinar. Uh, let's watch together and learn together. Today our webinar number is 1047 and the topic is ethical student for student career and development. And our speaker name is Annelisa Valimo. She's from Philippines. She's a student from Civil uh, Valley Cross and Flames Academy. Let's welcome our speaker. Hello, ma'am.
Okay, so thank you, ma'am, for that overwhelming introduction.
Yes,
To the participants all over the world, it's my pleasure to be here and be part of this Institute of Global Professionals. I hope that all of you will learn something new today as I discuss the topic ethical standards for students' career
ma'am. Hello,
and
ma'am.
development.
Ma'am, I can't see your
Yes, ma'am.
face. I can't see your face.
Wait, ma'am. Okay,
Please.
so am I visible already?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Am I visible already?
No, ma'am. I can't see. It's a black.
It's all black.
Yes, now I can see your face.
Okay, so once again, I would like to thank you, ma'am, for that overwhelming introduction. To the participants all over the world,
Thank you.
it's my pleasure to be here, to be part of this Institute of Global Professionals, to be one of your speaker. I hope all of you will learn something new today as I discussed the topic ethical standards for students' career and development. In today's business environment, it is most important than ever to strive for a strong ethical behavior. Never before has information had been so widely available. News of even indiscretions can spread rapidly. Lawmakers, regulators, and even public expect business to perform under the highest and ethical standards. When companies operate without this ethical standard, they risk legal and financial repercussions as well as loss of credibility in the eyes of the customers and other stakeholders. So I have here the objective of our today's webinar. Next, man.
Uh,
Okay, so my objectives are know the meaning and importance of ethics, Second is apply the different ethical standards or ethical principles for students' career and development. Next slide. So let us define what is ethics. So when we say ethics, these are the system of moral ethical beliefs that direct the behavior and operations of an organization and its personnel. Ethics inform companies' values and goal, as well as how it runs the business day by day. So when we say ethics, this has something to do on doing what is right and doing what is wrong. Next slide, please. As you can see on our illustration, it is mentioned there that, as you can see in the illustration, we have here the rights of the employees. So the rights of the employees includes the right to have a proper compensation, the benefits, the skills that will lead to promotion and successful career. Though through that promotion, bonuses and other incentives are given. So as an entrepreneur, as a sole proprietor, as an employee, we should know what are the rights that we should get from our employer. So here we have the different benefits, the compensation that we could get, and even some of the what they call this, the seminars to be attended, so that we could be more resourceful as an entrepreneur. Next slide, please. Okay, so here ethics is defined as moral philosophy or code of moral practice by a person or group of people. An example of ethic is the code of conduct set by the businesses. So, if you were to be an entrepreneur someday, or a businesswoman, a sole proprietor someday, there are ethical standards that we should follow in order to be a successful entrepreneur. Next. Ethics include the decision, the choices, and the behavior that people believe to be worthwhile and important in their lives. Also, the entrepreneur is a crucial to be the maintenance and sustainability of the economy for the grassroots to be to the national level. Next. So another definition of ethics, this will manifest as entrepreneur continue to perform. This chapter encompasses the ethical norms, roles, and responsibilities expected to an entrepreneur. So we have to follow different ethical standards in order for us to become a successful individual, successful in our career, not only being an entrepreneur, a sole proprietor, but also it encompasses our success as an individual. Next, please. So we have here different ethical roles. So in our in ethics, this include the decision, our choices that gives opportunity to promote a culture of ethical behavior by establishing code of conduct. So and by modeling positive ethical behaviors to the rest of the organization. Also, it is crucial because meaning to say this ethical behavior doesn't just benefit companies' reputation. It is important for organizations to operate with good business ethics to avoid legal and regulatory problems. Ethics is our norms, our values, our decision to do what is right and what is wrong. Next slide. So we have here different ethical roles and norms and behaviors. So here we have here the moral virtue and a good character. So this moral virtue and good character is one important behavior of an entrepreneur, not only an entrepreneur, but a student or a person in order to become a successful individual someday. Next is ethical challenges. So this ethical challenges caused by moral, okay, yes, the distraction surrounding to the entrepreneur increase the risk of making wrong choices. So here, when we say ethical challenges, we are dealing with moral doubt or uncertainty, that is not knowing what is right to do. Meaning to say, we're not mentioned that often in interviews, many ethical challenges were related to situations in which there was disagreement or conflict. So here, there are situations that we may encounter as an entrepreneur, conflict on our competitors, because we know once the business arises, there are lots of competitors around us. Conflict arises. All we have to do is to be sport all the time and to complete to compete rightly. So we should have unhealthy competition. So I will just give another meaning to this moral virtue and good character. So may I just share with you that according to Aristotle, he was able to define moral character or moral virtue as a disposition to behave in the right manner and as means between extremes and deficiency and access, which are vices. We learn moral virtue primarily through the habit and practice rather than through reasoning and instruction. Virtue is a moral excellence. A virtue is a trait. It is a quality that is deemed to be morally good and thus is value a foundation of principle and good moral being. In other words, it is a behavior that shows moral standards doing what is right and we are avoiding what is wrong. So here we should have a good character. In general, people who are considered to have a good character often have the traits of integrity. So these are their traits: having the integrity, the courage, the honesty, the fortitude, the loyalty, and other important virtues, but to promote good behavior. So these character traits define who they are as a people and highly influence the choices they make in their lives. So this moral virtue and good character, as well as these ethical challenges, are the different ethical norms and behavior that we entrepreneurs should establish. Next slide, please. Okay, so um, please backward, please. I have to discuss about application of ethical principles and values. Okay. Okay. No, not that one, ma'am. Backward, please.
Which number? Slide number. Slide number.
Uh, I guess that is a slide number. Wait. Um, slide number 9.
Okay,
Slide
ma'am.
number 9.
Wait a minute. Ethical norms.
Okay, so number 3, the application of ethical principles and values. So when we say application of these ethical principles and values, we're dealing here about the business ethics is application of ethical values to business in our behavior. Ethic goes beyond the legal requirements for a company. It is therefore about discretionary decisions and behavior guided by values. So, when we say application of these ethical principles, entrepreneurs, manager, a sole proprietor, a business, a person who were able to establish a business venture, should have these principles and values. Okay, so number 4, positive results of ethical practice. So when we say positive results, an organization that is perceived to act ethically by employees can realize positive benefits and improve business outcomes. The perception of ethical behavior can increase employees' performance Job satisfactions, organizational commitment, trust, and organizational citizenship behavior. So we have here these positive results as we become an entrepreneur, a sole proprietor, a manager, or a business owner of our own establishment, of our own business. We should have this positive results all the time. All we have to do is to have motivations to ourselves. If no one motivates you, at least you yourself, you motivate yourself. You have this perseverance with you. You also have this determination. And then you should also be a risk taker in order for you to become successful individuals someday. And next, we have here creating ethical standards for the enterprise. So, in having different enterprises or expanding our own business venture, we have to develop ethical standards also. Our employees should have different practices, different webinars, and different what do you call this training? Having proper training, having proper webinars for this to have this kind of ethical standards. An integral first step is to formalize your expectations and make it clear about which behaviors aren't and acceptable. So through the proper trainings, through the proper seminars, we could set our rules and regulations. We could set our do's and don'ts here. And then through those trainings and seminars, we could establish a good rapport with our colleagues as well as with our customers or our potential market. So ensures leaders exhibit proper behavior. We should ensure that our employees, our colleagues have this proper behavior, most especially in dealing with our customers. Be diligent in enforcing policies. So as a manager, as a business owner, we should be diligent in enforcing the proper regulations, rules and regulations. We as an entrepreneur, as a sole proprietor, as a manager, as a leader, should be guided with a proper provisions of rules and regulation. We should be a good role model to our employees or colleagues. Number six, we have to suggested coverage of a good code of ethics. So, meaning to say, the code of ethics usually includes the six universal moral values that state you expect employees to be trustworthy. Your employees should be trustworthy. They should be trustworthy. Even the cashier, even most of the employees should be trustworthy. So we as a manager, we as the owner should give them proper training so that they could manage this kind of values. Respectful, that is also important. Being responsible, being fair, caring, and good citizens. I do believe with the help of these proper trainings and proper seminars that was conducted to our colleagues or to our employees will help them grow. Aside from that, they could be efficient and more effective individual someday. And then you can also include values such as celebrating diversity, using green standards in workplace or dress code. So you could give praises, you could motivate them, you could give bonuses, you could give incentives to those of your employees as well as colleagues, most especially if they really performed well. Okay. So next slide, please. Next slide, ma'am. So what are the ethical standards? So let us discuss what are these ethical standards that we should practice in order for us to become a successful entrepreneur, a successful sole proprietor, or individual someday. Okay, next slide, please. So setting the ethical standard is the first step in creating an ethical organization. So here are the steps the entrepreneur could take when creating a code of ethics for the enterprise. So let us have it one by one. Next slide, please. So I have here 10 ethical principles for student career and development. I hope, guys, that this could help you to become a successful student someday, to become a successful individual someday. That could help you develop your career. Okay, next slide, please. So, a set of universal standard of our personal ethic code can serve as a guide for judging between right and wrong in your daily life. Businesses or business ethics are similar in principle to the standard ethics, but have much broader consequences from the worker or the sales floor to the business executive in the corner office. Decisions made on the job are typically judged by much larger member of the people than personal decisions. Thus, the fate of the employee and perhaps the organization's fate may rise or fall according to the perceived integrity of decision made in the workplace. That's why I even told you, most of my students, I even told them when I was teaching entrepreneurship subject, before you establish a business, all you have to do is not only to think once or twice, but also you should have this business plan with you. This business plan will serve as a roadmap towards the success of your business. There is no there are what do you call this, bump roads or road bumps before we achieve the success. But all we have to do is to be positive all the time, and then use this ethical principles that will help you to achieve your goals someday. Next slide, please. So one is honesty. So when we say honesty, all personnel must be committed to telling the truth in all forms of communication. And in all actions, this include never purposely telling partial truths, selectively omitting information, making mispresentations, or overstatements. Honesty also means by sharing both good and bad with equal candor. Meaning to say, as an entrepreneur, honesty is one factor and key to success of one's enterprise or company. We have to be honest all the time to gain more customers and earn trust of our customers. So honesty is a component of moral character that connotes positive and virtuous attribute such as integrity, truthfulness, and openness, including clarity of conduct, along with the absence of lying, cheating, theft, and others. So honesty also involves being reliable and trustworthy, loyal, fair, and sincere. So as an entrepreneur, as a sole proprietor, as an individual, as a student, we should possess this honesty. We should be positive all the time in our attributes, in our actions, in order for us to gain more customers, in order for us to have viable products and services. Meaning to say, when we say viable, by the word of mouth, it is very recommendable to people, because when we are dealing about entrepreneurship, we are not only discussing here, we are not only we are not only pertaining to the products, but also to the services that the market rendered us or cater us. So we should be honest all the time in for you to gain more customers, to have potential market. All we have to do is to be honest all the time. Next slide, please. Next slide. So we have here the word fairness. So in fairness, all dealings and relationship must be founded on a conscious commitment to fairness, treating others as you would like to be treated. So fairness requires treating all the individuals equally and courteously, never exercising power arbitrary, and never exploiting weaknesses or mistakes for personal or corporate benefit. Okay, so when we say fairness in a business, as a manager, as a sole proprietor, as the owner, as the one who established our business venture, we should know the welfare of our people. Fairness is a product of moral judgment, the process by which people determine what is morally right and what is morally wrong. Moral reasoning has been explored and analyzed in the two main traditions, the justice reasoning approach and the care reasoning approach. So we should be fair all the time. If someone or if our customers done something wrong, or even our employees done something wrong, we should ask their side. No, we should be fair all the time. Ask their side, ask for the reason why they have committed that kind of mistake, and then with our help as a leader, as a manager, let us correct them. We used to be reachable to any problems as a manager. We should be reachable to any problems that might arise and provide a solution to a particular problem. So this is one of the important factor. Fairness is one of the important ethical principles in order for us to become a successful individual someday. Next, next slide. Next is the word leadership. This is a very common word to everybody, a word that has a big responsibility. So when we say leadership, it demonstrates by a conscious effort to set a positive example of ethical behavior. Leadership is a commitment to excellence through ethical decision making. Businesses and business executives maintain their leads by constantly improving operational efficiency, worker satisfaction, and customers' approval. As a leader, we should be a good role model and good example. A good leader is a good follower. So, in order for us to be followed by our colleagues, by our students as well, our colleagues, our students, our employees, we should be a good follower. So, leaders provide direction. We leaders provide direction, guide to his or her people. We encourage them to be the best that they can be. Aside from that, ethical leadership means that individuals behave according to the set of principles and values that are recognized by the majority as sound basis for common good. These include integrity, respect. So as a leader, you should have this integrity, you have the respect, you have the fairness, the transparency, and honesty. Ethical leadership must be conscious decision. So again, a good leader is a good follower. So in of order for us to be followed by our colleagues, by our students, by our employees, ourselves should be a good role model. We should be a good example as well. And then we try to encourage people. We should try to encourage them to be the best that they can be. Okay, next slide. So we have this integrity. So organizations and personal demonstrate integrity through a consistency between actions, word that inspires trust and credibility. Integrity also means keeping promises. We have our word of honor, honoring commitments, meeting deadlines, refusing to participate in unscrupulous activities or business dealings. So we should have the word of honor. When we say integrity, we have the word of honor. You have to pledge here. When we say this integrity, this is a practice of being honest and showing consistency in compromising values and trustfulness and accuracy to one's action. Not only in a workplace, integrity is beneficial to businesses, but it is also beneficial to individual. By showing that you are an honest and dependable person, you'll gain respect and trust from your peers and managers as well. which can also play a big part in your career and growth. So this will also help you to have a progression and overall success. So integrity, the word of honor, you keep your promises. You have to stand with your own, no? You are responsible and accountable of your actions. Next slide, please. So we have this compassion. Okay, so when we say compassion, fostering business environment of empathy and compassion requirement commitment to being kind and caring towards the personnel. So we should have the compassion, meaning to say, we should have this what do you call this care to our personnel, not only to our personnel, but showing that we trust our students. We also trust our employees. Business goals must be benevolent, ensured by spending enough time to understand the needs and sensitivities of others. So when we say compassion, we have to hear the side of our customers. We have to hear the side of our employees. Maybe something is wrong. If something is wrong, we have to guide them. Aside of guiding them, we have to establish a good rapport with our colleagues, with our employees. Aside from that, if something is wrong to them, I think we should do some necessary actions to that. Proper training, proper seminar should be given, even team building should be given in order to have a proper rapport with our colleagues or personnel. So this is a very important building proper rapport not only to the colleagues but also to throughout with our customers. Next, please. So respect. Okay, this respect is demonstrated by a full commitment to the human rights, dignity, autonomy, interest, privacy of all personnel. It means recognizing that everyone deserves equal respect and support for sharing ideas, opinions without fear of a penalty of or form of discrimination. So whoever your customers are, what are their what they call nationality? Okay, we have to show respect to them. Showing respect could get the interest of our students. Aside from that, is it is a way also to show that we have human rights in respecting. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, next slide. So responsibility is, and this word is also a big word. Employees exhibit responsibility to taking full ownership of their jobs. Not only the employees, but we as a business owner, as a sole proprietor, as an entrepreneur, we are responsible of our actions. We are responsible in guiding our colleagues, guiding our students, guiding our employees, and even our customers to be the best that they can be. We are responsible of what do you call this, of our capital, of our finances. When we say capital, we are not only referring here to the money that we have to spend in our what do you call this, in building or putting up our business, but also when we say capital, we are dealing with the raw materials that we were to use to establish our own business venture. So financial and business consequences of their actions, taking their responsibility seriously, also demonstrate employees' maturity and ability to work. No? So this responsibility is a big word. Once you enter a business, once you establish a business, once you work or once you study, this is already a big responsibility for you. All you have to do is to do your best, to be self-motivated as well, to have the perseverance, to have the determination, no? to have this ethical principles, to practice these ethical principles in order for you to be a successful individual someday. Next, please. So loyalty. So loyalty is proven by never disclosing information learned in confidence and by remaining faithful to coworkers, clients, business partners, and even suppliers. So if you want that your suppliers, your stakeholders, and even your colleagues or the employees will be loyal to you, you should be also loyal to them. We have to build rapport to them. We have to build good communication to them. You have to show respect to them. You have to give them what is right for them. No, you have to give proper trainings, proper seminars. So loyal employees avoid conflicts of interest, help build and protect the good reputation of their company, and help boost the morale of their coworkers. So if we all know that once we establish this kind of business venture, there's a lot of competitors around us. But all we have to do in order for us to have loyal customers with us, we should be also loyal to them by providing them equality products and services, choosing the right or the raw materials, the quality raw materials that we should render in our products or even our services. That is loyalty. We should show how do we love, how do we care for our customers and our employees as well, so that we could establish good reputation. Our business could establish good reputation. Aside from establishing a good reputation, our business will be viable through the word of mouth. It could be recommendable not only here in the Philippines but through the entire world. Okay, next. Fortitude. An entrepreneur requires fortitude to keep a business strong and eventually bring it to the harvest. Fortitude, which stems from persistence, realism, consistency, strengthens the entrepreneur against scattered thinking and giving up. In Tagalog, when we say in Filipino, when we say fortitude, ito yung lakas ng loob. We have this perseverance, we have this determination, we should have the guts, no, to take the risk all the time in order for us to become successful individuals someday. Although there are lots of road bumps towards success, these road bumps will serve as challenges, these road bumps serve as dilemma. But if we have a strong fortitude with us, lakas ng loob with us, everything, no, we could manifest success. Okay, next. Next, please. Transparency. Okay, so this committing transparency requires making business information and policies available to appropriate groups, such as financial investor, personal consumers. It includes, for example, sharing criteria for prices, hikes, wages, hiring, and granting. So transparent all the time. So when we say transparent, giving information, giving the policies, no, we should be what do you call this? We should be honest. We should give good examples to them. Transparent in a way that may I just share with you? According to an economist, is Joseph Alois Computer, an entrepreneur is not motivated by the profit, but we are motivated of how far our business had gone through. So we are not motivated by the profit, but we are motivated on how we care, how we could we cater good products, quality services to our customers. Okay, we're not only after the profit or the money. Next slide. So here, as an entrepreneur, most valuable possession in the business world is not the money or the product or the facilities. It is his or her reputation. If you lie, if you cheat or steal the marketplace usually learns about it and you lose any credibility that you will have had. On the other hand, those who are guided by the set of values like the ones developed for the Native American Entrepreneurship Program and has a credibility in the marketplace and draw others who wants to do business with them. Sometimes the entrepreneur can get so caught with a new thing, the latest, greatest product, services, or technology that they have to fail and see, okay, and see. So, meaning to say, we entrepreneur are not only after the profit that we could get, but we are after, no? We should be after how far our business had gone through, no? We should practice these ethical standards all the time so that we could become successful individuals someday. Okay, next slide, please. I have here quotations. So ethics is knowing the difference between what you have the right to do and what is the right thing to do. Action, indeed, is the sole medium of expressions for ethics. Next. There is no way to succeed in business without the highest ethical standards. Then last, ethics is knowing the difference between what you have the right to do and what is the right to do. Okay? So thank you for your patience and listening, and for your active participation. I hope that you have learned something, and I hope that this learning, these ethical standards, will help you to become a productive, a successful individual or entrepreneur someday. That's all, and thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful presentation. It has been very informative for us. Ma'am, it's time for our quiz session. After completed our quiz session, we come back again in our question answer session. So you have to wait for some minutes. Okay, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Dear participants, it's time for our quiz session. To join our quiz session, you have to go www.slido.com. Then you have to enter the code, and the code is IGP. And the code is IGP. After short video, we'll start our quiz session. So everyone join our quiz session, and don't forget to mention your friends to join our quiz session. So let's enjoy our quiz session. Dear participants, it's time for our quiz session. To join this quiz session, you have to go www.slido.com. Then you have to enter the code, and the code is IGP, and the code is IGP. We'll pick your name from Slido, so join with your full name, which will directly print on certificate. And top 10 will be awarded with quiz completion certificates. In our quiz session, already 20 people join. Dear participant, we are waiting for your joining, so please everyone join early. To join this session, you have to go www.slido.com. Then you have to enter the code, and the code is IGP. And the code is IGP. And don't forget to mention your friends to join our quiz session. Already 23 people join in our quiz session. We are waiting for your joining, so please everyone join in our quiz session early. To join our quiz session, you have to go www.slido.com. Then you have to enter the code, and the code is IGP, and the code is IGP. And top 10 will be awarded with quiz completion certificates. We will pick your name from Slido, so join with your full name, which will directly print on certificates. Now start our quiz session. Our first question: Professional ethical standards, option 1, are of little concern to veteran educators. Second option, include how a teacher acts and dresses. And the correct answer is option 2, include how a teacher acts and dresses. And 87% people are right. In the dashboard, we can see the top one is Michelle Tarashina. Then we have Evelyn, then we have Carmela, then you have Flomi. Now we go for our second now question, and the question is: An educational institution maintains standards that qualify graduates for professional practice and a career. Option 1, accreditation. Second option, advantages. And the correct answer is option 1, accreditation, and 88% people are right. In dashboard, the top one is Michelle Tarashina, then we have Flomi, then we have General. Now we go for our third now question, and the question is how many code of ethics for educators standard are there? Option 1 9, second option 11. How many codes of ethics for educators standards are there? Option 1 9, option 2 11. And the correct answer is 11 and 43% people are right. Then in our top one is Michelle Darshina, then we have Flami, then we have Evident. Now we go for our fourth one question, and the question is the mindsets and behaviors for student success standards are based on option one, input from school counselors about what they see as important. Second option, research on non-cognitive factors related to academic performance. And the correct answer is option 2, research on non-cognitive factors related to academic performance, and 54% people are right. And in the top one is now Kidiana January. Then we have Flami, then we have Abilene. Now we go for our fifth now question, and the question is a set of courses that help a person prepare for a specific career. Option 1, career and technical education. Second option, medical education. And now you can see the correct answer. And the correct answer is option 1, technical and career and technical education. And 100% people are right. Still, our top one is Kidewana. Then we have Flomi. Then we have Lilin. Now I go for our sixth now question, and the question is who is best for a student of diverse culture background? Option one, national language. Second option, English and Filipino. And the correct answer is option one, national language, and 72% people are right. And still our top one is Kideona, then we have Evelyn, then we have Jameline. Now we go for our seventh one question, and the question is career development and counseling can happen at the elementary level. Option one, true, option two, false. And the correct answer is true, and 44% people are right. And still our top one is Key, then Diniana, then we have Jordan, then we have Michelle Tarashi. Then we go for our eighth question. And the question is not important for teachers. It's not for important for teacher to go to professional development opportunity. Is true or false? And the correct answer is false, and 96% people are right. And our still our top one is Kiliana. Then we go for our 9th question, and the question is because of their influence on children, teachers are held to high ethical standard. Is it true or false? And correct answer is true, and 100% people are right. Still, our top one is Kitina. Now we go for our last question, and the question is: interpreters demonstrate dash for colleagues, interns, and students of the profession. Option one: respect. Option two: vengeance. And the correct answer is respect, and 100% people are right. Congratulations, Kitayana. He is our top one. Then we have Michelle Tarashina. In third position, we have Evelyn. In fourth position, we have Jordan Joy. And fifth position, we have Jamelin. Congratulations, our top 10 quiz competition winner. Today's quiz competition winner, we have all of your name which you entered during joining. We will pick your name and prepare certificate and we'll post them on our Facebook official page. Our Facebook official page is Institution of Global Professional. It's time for our question answer session. After short video, we'll start our question answer session. Participator request to ask their question in our comment box and please address the speaker name. After short video, we'll start our quiz session. So let's enjoy our question answer session. Dear participant, it's time for our question answer session. If you have any question, you can ask in our comment box. Welcome back, ma'am, in our question answer session. Dear participant, if you have any question, you can ask. Our first question from Asia, my network. Sorry. Our first question from Fromi R. Salviozo. Good afternoon, everyone. Good day, ma'am. What are the common ethical Challenges in our society. Why is being ethical so challenging?
Okay, so good day. Thank you for that question, Mr. Flory. So the common ethical challenges in the society want to establish our own excuse me, this is venture. There's a lot of competitors around us, but let us see that competitors are part of our success. We should be motivated by our competitors, and uh, through those competitors we should also practice these ethical standards. We should follow these ethical principles for us to be so that we could have a what do you call this, um, a sportsmanship in our business. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Your participate. We are waiting for your question, so please ask your question in our comment box.
And may I just also share, because there are situations, there are instances that we face the different problems, most especially as a customers, because some of the employees are not properly trained. So I think those are some of the ethical challenges that we also face aside from the competitors that we have. But apparently, as a manager, as a leader, we have to give proper trainings and seminars to those kind of employees that we have.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Dear participant, we are waiting for your question. If you have any question, you can ask in our comment box. I think we covered our. There is no more question. Is there anything you want to tell our participant? Ma'am, there is no more question. Is anything you want to tell our participants?
Okay, so if there were no questions, I hope that you have learned something new today on establishing this as ethical standard for students' career and development. You should follow these principles in order for you to become a successful individual someday. Again, I hope that all of you learn. And then in today's environment, it is important than ever to strive for strong ethical behavior. Never before has information has been so widely available. Use of even minor indiscretions can spread rapidly. So these ethical standards, they risk legal and financial repercussions, as well as loss of credibility in the eyes of customers and stakeholders. So we students as well as entrepreneur should always practice these ethical standards so that we could be what you call this successful individuals someday.
Ma'am, I think there is one more question from KND. Good afternoon, Po. What strategies must I use to remain true to my values and principles when I'm challenged as a student?
Okay, if you were challenged as a student, again, when no one motivates you, at least you motivate yourself to strive harder. You have the determination, you have the perseverance. You should be a risk taker in all the aspects. You are accountable, you should be responsible. Now you are responsible of your actions. If no one motivates you, at least you yourself, you motivate yourself to be the best that you can be.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. There's no more question. Uh, Thank you so much, ma'am, for your answer. And please accept our profound thanks for taking out the time from your busy schedule to present the slide about ethical standards for students. I know that everyone sitting there is fascinated by your presentation. Those slide gives everyone a great idea about ethical standards. We gained a lot of information in one place. Again, I would like to offer our thanks for your wonderful presentation and give your precious time with us. And I hope everyone can learn from your presentation. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Dear participants, time for our to give you webinar code. Today our topic is ethical standards for student career and development, and the code is IGP0099, and the code is IGP0099. How to claim your certificates? First, you have to go www.eduigp.com. Then you have to click sign in. Then you have to log in if you already have an account or you are new. Then you have to create new account. Once you log in, click view webinars. Then select the webinar title and click continue course and get enrolled. If you have not enrolled yet, type the code, and the code is IGP0099, and click get your certificates, and it's auto download effort. Uh, Without code, no one is eligible for certificates, and with code, you can claim your certificates anytime. And again, I say that the code is IGP0099. The code is IGP0099. Thank you everyone for your active participation. I hope everyone can learn from our presentation, from our webinar, and enjoy our session. See you in our next session. Till then, stay happy and blessed. Once again, I'm Yarni Sakhtar from Bangladesh. Thank you so much.